no secret that moms have a lot on their plate and they're often expected to juggle just about everything.
But sometimes they need to vent too, so we brought in moms to do some venting. Amy Hatch and Laura Bleill are here from the Chambanamoms website to talk about breastfeeding because it's been a hot-button issue in the news the last week, and we figured you two are moms. You guys can help us vent, or at least vent about the topic. So I guess just, do you guys, with the whole covering up thing, what do you think moms should be doing if they are breastfeeding in public?
I don't know too many moms who wouldn't cover up in public. I mean, nobody really wants to expose themselves. I don't think that's the point of breastfeeding. Your baby's hungry, you're at the mall, you got to feed them, and I think most moms are really discreet, actually.
This all started, maybe you heard the story, there was a mom breastfeeding her baby at a mall in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, I believe, a couple of weeks back. One of the security guards or mall staff asked her to go to a specific bathroom or restroom where she could breastfeed, and moms came out in droves to support her right to breastfeed in the play area, basically, out there in front of the stores.
Would you want to eat in the bathroom?
Well, yeah,
yeah, that's one of the things that, women are forced to breast pump their breast milk in the bathroom. They're forced to breastfeed in the bathroom. I mean, I wouldn't want to eat my lunch in the public restroom.
Yeah, and it's just, the irony is that, as the society, or maybe not society, but the government is certainly promoting breastfeeding as being more healthy for babies, etc. And then you have all these entities. I mean, in this case, it wasn't a public entity, but entities who are trying to defeat that by making moms uncomfortable to feed their babies. And the reality is, I mean, I breastfed my babies both for 12 months or longer, and the reality is that when the kid's hungry and got to eat, I mean, I had one kid who did not want to be covered up at all. And it made my life really difficult because I basically couldn't go anywhere. I didn't feel comfortable going anywhere because I didn't want to make a spectacle of myself, yet I also knew that my baby had to eat. So every once in a while it happen. But there's so many things you can buy, but like I said, there's just some babies who just don't want to be covered up.
Right. It really is a natural thing to feed your baby. Have we just gotten to be too sexual in our society and thinking about two other things that we now look at what is normally a natural function for every mom taking care of their baby, and now we see it somehow differently?
I think that's a big part of it. I also just think that there was a big movement. I mean, I'm not too up on the history of breastfeeding, but I know that my own mom breastfed me, and she always told me how unusual that was in those days, because in those days they were pushing formula and thinking that that was the way to go, and there were issues around that. So it has a history that's very well entrenched in terms of what was socially acceptable at different times. And I do think that breastfeeding has made a big comeback in a ways, but then you hear stories like this and women, are thinking, well, I don't want to do that. I mean, having a baby is isolating enough. And you're at home so much anyway because of naps and everything else that you just add that into the picture, and it makes it so much more difficult for new moms.
And really not right or wrong, it's what you're most comfortable with as a mom. It's your own personal choice.
Feeding your baby is the bottom line. Whether you bottle feed or breastfeed, it's really a very personal matter, and it's really nobody else's business how you choose to do it, where you choose to do it, or when you choose to do it. I mean, if someone said to you, well, you can only eat lunch in a restroom when I have time, when nobody else is uncomfortable about it. I mean, imagine what that would be like for you. So.
Would not be good. Now, you actually did some research and found some statistics on even how many moms are breastfeeding out there. Tell us about what you found.
It seems, because we hear so much about these stories, that everybody is breastfeeding and bearing their breasts in public to do it, but frankly, only 14% of moms, a new study that was released about a month ago shows that only 14% of moms actually are able to follow through on the recommended 6 months of breastfeeding because of various factors. Work, there's nowhere for them to pump, societal pressure, it becomes just very isolating because you can't leave the house. Some babies want to eat all the time, so you're constantly tied to an infant, and so they move to formula feeding, which has its own judgmental crowd that's after the bottle feeders. I was, a bottle feeder. Even the word bottle feeder sounds like bottom feeder.
Oh, no.
And there's a lot of judgment just around this whole topic, and it's really quite silly.
Well, and especially, what if your child doesn't take to breastfeeding? I mean, you really have no other choice because you don't want to starve your child.
Right, you don't. And some people are very opposed to any kind of bottle feeding, and they really want you to keep at it until both you and your child are extremely frustrated. And the bottom line is happy mom equals happy baby.
Very much so.
All right, awesome. Anything else you guys got cooking on your website or anything we should know about?
I guess tomorrow we have Chambanamoms coming up.
All right.
Oh.
And we have a story about sprouts at the market. We're going to be I forgot. We're going to be at market at the square in Urbana on Saturday morning. So come out and see us.
Okay.
And some of our contributors will be there, and we'll have some bubbles for the kids because they can't resist bubbles. And yeah, we'd love to meet everyone. Sprouts is from 9 to 11 at the market, but we'll be there probably a little bit before, a little bit after, and we'd love to meet anyone who wants to come out and meet us. So
Chambanamoms.com, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
You can find all the information.
And thanks for coming in and giving a voice to the moms out there, for the bottle feeders and the breastfeeders.
Thanks for having us.
All right.
Absolutely.
If you guys want to see this again, you can go online, theillinoishomepage.net, look underneath news to go to the WCFN 49 News at 7.